I got the new Buckmaster Generation 2 for you today, as well as the latest and greatest in terms of the Chimera 223 centerfire button release that we'll be releasing soon too. So there's more coming up, so stay to the end. For everybody who doesn't know the Buckmaster in detail, the Buckmaster is a gas piston driven firearm, which means that the recoil in the Buckmaster is reduced compared to other shotguns. May that be inertia shotguns, like the Buckmaster, for example, or other shotguns. Now, the benefit of the gas piston is that it will take some of the gas out of the system and drive the bolt backwards after the shot is fired. That will reduce the overall recoil that you'll feel. The other benefit of a gas piston is that you can run lighter loads. So for the Buckmaster specifically, you can run 28 grams, but you might also be, after a few rounds, be able to run 26 grams. That all depends on the ammunition, on the specific ammunition. With inertia firearms that are just working off the recoil, you have to push your shoulder in, make a stiff shoulder for the gun to cycle. If you just have a loose shoulder, sometimes your gun will not cycle. Your gun will also require heavier loads, 32, 36, depending on the specific firearm. So a gas piston driven firearm will load lighter loads, will have less felt recoil, which will allow you to get back onto your target faster after the recoil, allowing you to get more pigs or more feral animals, whatever you're hunting. The Buckmaster specifically works in this way, that after you take the shot, the bolt opens automatically. You then push this button here and the action closes and you're ready to shoot again. So then that happens again, and then you just push the button, the action closes, and you can shoot again. So very simple, very good. The benefit of having it at the forend is that you have a two-hand movement. So you push the button, you pull the trigger, which allows you to move relatively timely, let's phrase it that way, and allows you, therefore, with a reduced recoil, to have multiple shots onto the same maybe mob of pigs. Okay, so with the Buckmaster Generation 2, we've made some changes. So I'm going to walk you through what we've done. This is a Generation 1, and I'm just going to use it as an example, okay? We have 8 different versions of the Buckmaster Generation 2. So we're going to have different buttstock configurations, anything from a standard buttstock over a standard buttstock with cheek razor, so you can run optics if you want to. We have the collapsible buttstock, so this one is not going to be compliant in some of the states, including New South Wales and Western Australia. The other version that we have is a adjustable, which is just going to be adjustable in length. Now that one is also not available in New South Wales, but available in WA. We have the pistol grip fixed stock, so that one will be New South Wales compliant. You can run that one without a problem. It also has a cheek razor on it, so it's also very optics friendly. We have different colors. So we got the timber synthetic, as it is here, and then we have the normal gun black. Now, in terms of the finish and in terms of the color, this one here is a gloss black finish. All Buckmaster Generation 2s will have the matte gun gray, which you would know from its competitors. All Buckmasters have a mini Picatinny rail on the bottom of the forend, which will allow for weapon light mounting. We have the Buckmaster Generation 2 in 2 different types, standard and tactical. The standard, which is very similar to this one, has a 20-inch or 20-inch barrel with a bead and a vented rip. And then we have the tactical, which have a 20-inch barrel, and they have a muzzle brake and 3 chokes. The standard does come with 3 chokes as well, but not with the muzzle brake choke. The tactical Buckmaster will have a Picatinny rail on top, which will be used as a rear sight as well, and then it has a front sight. For the states that can have it, the Buckmaster Generation 2 will also be available with extension kits of 2 or 5 rounds. So you can run a 10+1 or a 7+1, depending on your state's regulations. Now in Queensland, specifically, the Buckmaster is a category A bolt action rifle, so therefore you can run 7 or 10 rounds without a problem, and again, in some other states that's legal too. In New South Wales, as per our knowledge, you have to have a one-piece magazine, which means you can't just screw on a 2 or +5. Therefore, we're sourcing 7 and 10 round magazines that will be in full length, so they'll be available in New South Wales as well. I don't have an availability date as of yet, but I'll keep you guys posted. So now let's talk about price. Because the way we are sourcing with less people in the supply chain than before, we are able to reduce the Buckmaster price for the Generation 2 significantly. So where these guns currently retail at $1,500 to $1,900, we're now able to bring them down to $1,199 retail. So that brings it in line with its competition, and I think it's a very, very good value for money price for this firearm. With Buckmaster Generation 2, we also improved the firearm further, addressing some of the previous issues. One of the issues apparently was that the forend made from timber broke because it was compromised by putting this mechanism into the already thin timber, which shotguns do have relatively thin timber here, and yeah, any cuts into it compromises the structure of the forend, and therefore it's split in the past. Now that's addressed by just offering synthetic, and if you like a wood style look, then it's going to be a synthetic timber look like this. Furthermore, it was said that the forend nut would come loose while shooting. Now that's also been rectified. This now sits nicely and tight and basically clicks in. Another point is that this particular forend is very thin, even though it's a synthetic, and quite flexible. Now the new forend is designed as different, and it's much more sturdy and harder. So it's going to significantly improve the longevity of the forend. Okay, so enough about the Buckmaster. Now the big topic is Chimera. Right, there's been a lot of things going back and forth on social media, so I want to set a few things straight and explain timelines and how things evolved over time. Some of you might have seen a public release from Hunt's Sporting Supplies. In that release, Hunt's is talking about that for the last year and a half, they have worked really hard on trying to make the Chimera project reality, but they found it very difficult and they couldn't get the gun to work. They also had difficulties with the export restrictions or permits coming out of Turkey, which apparently wasn't their fault and was the fault of the manufacturer. Now, I'm not aware that that is incorrect or that is true. This is Hunt's public statement, so I'll believe to be true. Now, since then, things have changed a little bit. So I have gotten on a plane with Rick Casagrande, the CEO of Eureka Gun Company. Now, Rick is obviously very experienced with firearms and firearms manufacturing by now, and obviously for the last 3 years with the Eureka project, he's learned a couple of things or two. And before that, obviously, he ran Australian Sporting Agencies, the company that I now run. With that experience, we went over to Turkey to see Celik Arms. It was a great 4 days that we spent with them. We put 2,000 rounds through the same Chimera, and I can say my offhand shooting got a lot better, but at some point, like 2,000 rounds is a lot more than you expect. It's like, oh yeah, cool, I can do that in an ARVO. Yeah, no, it took us 3 days because what we've done is we tested it properly. To give the gun a fair go, we followed the instructions in terms of maintenance and cooling down. So the process was, we would take the gun, we would do about 60 to 70 rounds relatively quickly. And I mean like in, boom, 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 next magazine in, boom, 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 boom. You get my drift. After the 60 to 70 rounds, we would put the gun down, let it cool down a little bit, because by then it was burning hot, like you could not touch the barrel at all, obviously. So then we waited 5 to 10 minutes, we took the gun again, and then we put another 60 to 70 rounds through it, and we did that over and over and over again until we reached about 240, 250 rounds, roughly. We then took the gun apart, We stripped it, we maintained it as you should, which means just cleaning, greasing, and then we put it back together. And then we continued, and we did that over and over until we got to 2,000 rounds. Now, what have we found? Have we found that it didn't work? Yeah, 100%. At about 800 rounds, the extractor spring started to fail, as well as the main springs for the recoil also started to weaken. We've upped because, and this is the difference, right? So because we had Rick there, Rick would just look at the gun, shoot the gun, then take it apart and go, all right, based on what I see, based on the failure, it wasn't ejecting properly, it was scraping off parts of the rim because the timing wasn't right. So because of his experience, he relatively quickly found that those two springs were giving in. So we replaced the springs, and yeah, the gun worked flawlessly. So going forward, obviously the Eureka is going to come with the upgraded springs, and now we believe it has been fixed. Now we also made some improvements. Because we understand the market through the Eureka project, we know you guys want a 1 in 8 twist 223, okay? And I get it. 95% of our survey said, I want a 1 in 8. You get a 1 in 8. At the moment, the Chimera was a 1 in 7. We're now changing that to 1 in 8. Also, a lot of comments were made about how ugly the gun is. Yeah, it's not the prettiest. So we prettied her up a little bit. What we've done is we made changes. We've taken away the sights. We believe that the vast majority of you will run optic sights anyway, may that be red dots or proper scopes. So we've taken that off. We tempered down the receiver to fall in line with the overall design of the firearm. We also fluted the barrels because you'll be shooting a lot relatively in quick succession through the firearm, so therefore the barrel needs better cooling, so we fluted the barrel. And then in addition, we threaded the barrel as well with a 1.5 by 28, which should suit most suppressors as well as muzzle brakes. The Chimera will come with its own muzzle brake included. We've also put a mini Picatinny rail on the bottom of the forend so you can mount tripods or weapon lights to it. In addition, the Chimera will run PMag magazines. It'll come with one magazine, but obviously you can upgrade the magazines. The magazines that it will come with have a window in it so you can see exactly how many rounds are left in the magazine. We think that's a kind of neat little feature. We also did an accuracy test. So we had to work with what we had out there in Turkey, and so we made good use of everything. As you can see, fantastic results, like almost hole in hole. Great, we were super psyched. It's going to be one of the most accurate guns out there. The gun has great accuracy. Absolutely fantastic. No, I mean, in all honesty, we took a bit of a piss because it's a 1 in 7 twist, and the ammunition we were using, literally, a guy had to measure the length of the ammunition, and if it was roughly the same length, we would get to shoot it. That was the quality of the ammunition there. So it was a bit different. In addition, it's a 1 in 7 twist, so it wasn't gonna represent the end result anyway. Plus, we were gonna make changes, or we've made all these changes. So if I would have shown you and said, hey, this gun can shoot, 1 MOA or 2 MOA or what it is, and then change the gun completely and say this is what it is, that wouldn't be right. So there's going to be more accuracy testing coming, just as you are used to it from the Eureka project. We'll keep you up to date on the improvements and on the test results. The Chimera will come in 6 configurations. Now in 2 colors, in a standard configuration with a standard buttstock, just like the Buckmaster here, in either black or a synthetic black, or in this timber look. It will then come with a collapsible stock, with a adjustable stock, with a pistol fixed stock, New South Wales compliant, and it will come with a standard stock with cheek razor, so you can run your optics a little bit better. So best of all, price is coming down. We are now able to offer the Chimera at $15.99 retail price. This is a significant improvement from the previous $18.99 or somewhere around there. So I'm really excited. The only thing I don't know yet is exactly when we're gonna have it. I'm hoping we have them in the next 3 months. It all depends at the moment on Celik. They are just finishing the last touches on that new design and testing the firearm. Now you can go to your dealers and you can pre-order the firearm now. You can also go to celicarms.au and be able to pre-order the firearm there as well. On celicarms.au, you'll be able to customize the firearm and you'll be able to buy optics at a bundle price that we recommend with the firearm. So have a look, check it out. All the details and everything you can find on celicarms.au and on australiansportingagencies.com. Now I'm hoping to make another trip to Turkey very soon because there's 2 more exciting things coming. Number 1, Chimera 308. Whoop, whoop. Yes, I can't wait for that one. That's going to be awesome. But that's still a few months away. So the last thing, but not least, is going to be the Buckmaster with an exchangeable magazine. There'll be a 10-rounder and a 5-rounder that we'll be offering. Now, I don't really have a release date on that either, but I'm hoping in the next 6 months we'll have it. It's going to be a fantastic product for all the IPS3 3-gun competitors. And I can't wait because I hate loading shotguns with a passion. But that's just me. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and this update. May there's more to come your way. And yeah, just stay tuned. If you have any questions, any comments, please let us know below. Any feedback, good or bad, just let us know, all right? Because we're always looking for that feedback to just bring better products to the Australian market, either through us as an importer or through us in terms of manufacturing. So thanks very much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. How's my 308 Buckmaster going? Sometimes I love my job.